That's right, man, Charlie. That's right.
You always use that active when that defenders are being given like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. Come on.
Ian, people deluded, I'm back again. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're doing well and safe. I hope you and your loved ones are in good health. I hope this week is better and bigger than last week, people, and I hope 2023 is great for you lot, man. I want you in good health. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. Definitely my Arsenal fans. In fact, did we really enjoy it? It's another day, another slapping, man. SAKA from far, Eddie from close, United on the ropes. I give it to Ten Hag. He's got heart, but the lead there couldn't last. You know how it gets, man. You know how it gets. You know what SAKA and the Haaland boys and Odegaard and Jacadinho and Sakadinho and Zinchenko and even Tossart in his little cameo, Tomiyasu off the bench, shout out Gabriel and Saliba. People can, Ramsdale, shout out to him for taking responsibility for the second goal, but he popped off 1-2 good saves for us in the game, where the men in the trenches. The Emirates is not safe. If United needed any help, they could have asked Liverpool, they could have asked Spurs. Spurs even lost home and away, really. They could have asked Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. United lost at this ground last year as well, so it's nice to do a little get back, people, away from the banter and all of those sort of things there. In fact, one sec, people, away from the banter and everything. Obviously, I do think Ten Hag will get United going, considering where they were when they actually beat us in September till now. There's a lot of things to like about them, but fortunately for us, we won the game. We might as well review the game from a tactical point of view. Turn on your notification button, smash the like button, people, and everything else. Now, if I just, again, you lot can't see it, but in front of me, I can see myself. If I just go through some things before we look at the tactics board that I found positives, I think this is more a case of what we've seen all season. There's more steel, there's more determination, there's more, never give up attitude. And I think we've seen that for me when we was on the ropes at Leeds away when we won. Obviously, coming back from behind yesterday against Manchester United. I'd also throw Fulham and Aston Villa at home into that mix as well, people. And just generally, there's probably others we've reacted to setbacks. I didn't think it was, SAKA and Martinelli where, SAKA and Luke Shaw had a good little battle. Martinelli probably could do a bit more. He had a good game, but I feel our wingers, when they did, they provoked fear into the other team. And why there is, the one time Luke Shaw hasn't got tight, SAKA slapped in a madness from top bins. Well, not from top bins, sorry, from far range. One of his best goals in an Arsenal shirt, really. And obviously, when Trossard came in together with Zinchenko, we fashioned a goal from the left-hand side. I think we showed better temperament when we conceded that goal. It was a silly goal to give away between SAKA losing possession and Partey trying to play a first-time pass. But mistakes happen. It's how you get on. In previous years, as I've said, there's times where Arsenal fans or whatever, and maybe even sometimes Arsenal players that are, not under Mikel Arteta here right now, we might have been looking at that game and say, well, this happened. If you take away Partey and Saka stuff, Ramsdale's, we would have won this, that, and the other. Now it doesn't matter. We're just getting on with it. And I like the fact that, we gave them a silly goal. It's against the run of play per se, even though United obviously were decent on the ball in spells. And, they gave a good account of themselves apart from the second half. They were just playing for a draw. We had, they looked like they were resigned to defeat, but just getting on with things, people. Mistakes happen. We got on with it, really and truly. So better temperament. I think we had a healthy calmness to get back in the game. We've almost become this side this season, especially at home and away, that we can react, we can get goals, even if we're a goal behind, chances will happen, and things like that, and we can get back in. And there's almost this calmness from the fans and specifically the players and Mikel Arteta to know it's a 90-minute game. We'll get back in it. It's nice to obviously recover 3 points from a losing position. As I said, we did go a goal down within this game. And we've just shown the Emirates isn't safe. You can't come to this estate. It's not nice out here, people. Every team that's come here, what's happened? And Arsenal and Newcastle United still have 2 losses between them in January of 2023. If you said this to me in August, and I'm sure Newcastle fans, not that we didn't believe in our team or anything, but they said you're bugging out a bit. I think there was an extreme intensity in our press, as there is, people, from the the front line, really. And I think we did exploit De Gea and a couple of those United players and United collectively inability to really play out from the back per se. You know, I do think Varane can do it, Lissandro can do it, Wan-Bissaka can't do it. De Gea is a great keeper, but he's limited in that regards. You saw a lot of passes kind of go into Wan-Bissaka. Martinelli was on that. A number of them were played to Luke Shaw's side. Luke Shaw can play, and they were kind of overhit by De Gea, or they're kind of killing Luke Shaw and co. And obviously, when you can't get out, you're going to force your midfielders deeper, like you saw with Eriksen. Bruno at times went walkabouts, but he also did that as well. I did think when they rose to the occasion, I think many a player, Saka as well, but I think off the ball for me, Granit Xhaka, Odegaard and Zinchenko, having watched the game again, they give us so much. I did think, although Arteta, took a bit long with the subs for us Arsenal fans, I think he showed a proactiveness and he's learning. Obviously, Benjamin White's a great player, struggled a bit, came off. Tomiyasu had a good little cameo. Trossard had a good cameo in his 10 minutes as well. And maybe, I don't know if the City game comes too early, but maybe Martinelli out for Trossard just for this game might be a thing. And, it's not Arsenal seeing out a lead if we're not bringing on Rob Holding, but also on the field. You can keep a lead. It's how you look after the ball. It's how you take the sting out of the game. Sometimes it's about just keeping up the intensity. And I did think at times, obviously, I'd say when we made it 2-1, we kind of dropped off a bit immediately, people, and it kind of let United get back in the game. Obviously, we let ourselves down in the build-up to the corner, let alone, obviously, the goal we conceded, really. So there are obvious areas to improve. I love the passion from Mikel Arteta. I don't care about these yellow cards and coming out your technical area. When Conte was doing that at Chelsea, when Pep does it, when Liverpool were doing great with Klopp, no one said a thing, really and truly, especially with Klopp, who seems to be taking shots at Arsenal any opportunity he gets. Real managers take accountability, others play the blame game. Nobody said anything, but it's because it's us. I'm fully with it. And one thing I liked is we had them on the ropes. Man United and Arsenal are not where they used to be. And obviously they haven't been for a number of years. I'm still got that Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson thing internally at times, people. So to have them on the ropes like we did in the second half, Lissandro Martinez might have scored, but he made a number of important blocks. That gave it to me. It's like we smelt blood. And how many times before, obviously, Eddie netted the winner, how many times are you seeing Gabriel, Tomiyasu? It's like our defenders are fighting each other to get the winner, man. So we had them on the ropes. In terms of negatives or areas for improvement, obviously you want to see Martinelli and probably Martinelli was great off the ball, I would say, but Martinelli's looked a bit off. He's still playing good, but not quite as firing. So maybe Trossard could come in. I'd probably leave Martinelli in for City. Obviously, Benjamin White's still a bad boy footballer. It can't always be your day. He struggled a bit. He was on the yellow card. He has looked a bit leggy because he's had to play every game. So it's lovely to see the depth of the side and what Tomiyasu, and obviously you could extend that to Trossard and his involvement in the goal, but what Tomiyasu can bring really and truly. I did think Ramsdale, obviously, I did think for Rashford's goal, it's really there with Saka indirectly, and Partey doesn't play that pass, they don't get the first. I don't think we got tight enough. Partey got done by Rashford, and it was a great strike by Rashford. But having watched the game again, I'm not a goalkeeping coach, but maybe Ramsdale, when he looks at that again, people, he might deem, my positioning weren't really there in it, because it is a good shot from Rashford. But I do think if he kind of covered that angle a bit better, Rashford doesn't get a goal, but he did in it. But as I said, Ramsdale made some good saves in that game. I do think we weren't, bro. It's even good, really, because we've scored 3 goals against a top 6 side, an informed team in Man United. We've scored 3 goals. We haven't struggled to score too many times this season. Probably only Newcastle off the top of my head. And we still got 3 goals. But I don't think, on reflection in that game, watching it again, we was as clinical, as decisive, as efficient in the final third as the high standards we've set this season. I think on another day, we could have put this game to bed in the first half, even before Rashford's goals, where we had some half chances, but we didn't really force De Gea to make a save like that. So it could be a bit more clinical. I would say game management as well, because obviously we've conceded the first when we've kind of given it to them. We shouldn't have done that. Obviously, when it's become 2-1, very quickly it's become 2-2. I'm sure Man United would say that as well, because we quickly equalized when Rashford initially opened the scoring. So I would say just, you're most vulnerable when you've just conceded, and I've kind of alluded to that. I would say we took our foot off the gas a little bit, people. Rashford was pretty damn nerve-wracking in that whole game, if I'm honest with you, people. But It is, well, it is for us, man. Rashford's a scary player when he's confident. So they're just the areas of improvement. But as I said, you know, we exploited De Gea's inability to play out from the back, and Man United not really having the personnel generally right now to really build significant attacks. Really, they're just hitting it into wide areas, and we've given them their goals, really. It was a good passage of play from Man United to earn the corner, but we've let ourselves down from that corner. And as I've said, we've given, make no mistake, it's a flipping fantastic finish from Marcus Rashford. He still had a lot to do, and he continues, you know, generally been a nemesis of us, but we've given that to him. I think Ramsdale maybe could have done better. I think Partey and Saka could have done better. Maybe, probably, you know, reading what Rashford's about to do, could we have flung ourselves in the way to not allow him to do such, people? So yeah, man, I think, you know, for United, inability to play out the back and really fashion stuff. We, you know, Luke Shaw was in the trenches, but when Saka got onto it, it was a good battle. Wan-Bissaka struggled. You know, our press was very intense, and these are the things that, while I think Ten Hag's going to get things going for United, probably need some personnel that are able to do this. There's only so much blood, I guess, he can draw from a stone per se, people, if I'm completely honest with you, people. So I would say that. Now, if I share my screen with you lot, actually share my screen with you guys, actually, if it would allow me, there you have it there. We could have done better. Obviously, there's many other people in play, people, and it's not to scale, but Saka's tried a thing. He's been dispossessed. Partey's tried to hit it first time, skipping out who intercepted it, but long story short, it's fallen to Marcus Rashford, innit? And let's be honest, he's done Partey. I think he's even nutmegged him. He's done him. He's absolutely done him, and to exaggerate a bit, Rashford has banged it. You know, it's a good, confident move by Rashford, and I'm exaggerating Ramsdale's positioning, but he's kind of showed Rashford where he wants to go, and Rashford's hit it there. And I did think Ramsdale could have probably got closer, but as I said, he's the last line of defense, people. So before I ask questions on my keeper, what's gone on? And ultimately, we've handed that to them. So there are areas to improve in it. We're an improved defensive side. We're actually a good defensive side, but we're not necessarily a good defensive side because we've still got them brain farts and those sort of things in us, really. And it's them sort of avoidable goals. We've got to take the good or the improved and make it great. There's always something we could learn. Had we have lost, everyone would probably want to hear this. Had we have won as we did, nobody really cares. But I'm sure when the dust settles for both teams, both managers have a lot of positives to take from the game and areas of improvements, regardless of if they've got a point or whatever. Obviously, it was good play from everybody, even Partey and a number of players, but focusing on Granit Xhaka, Xhaka's delivered the ball into the box. It's terrible marking, really. Gabriel and Wan-Bissaka, and Luke Shaw, there's Gabriel and there's Eddie Nketiah, and there's a third Arsenal player. Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka are not talking to each other and helping people and passing men over. They haven't absolutely done that, really. And obviously, everyone would be on side at this moment. They haven't actually done that. Okay, he's used Gabriel as a decoy per se. Again, not to scale. It's a fantastic cross from Granit Xhaka. Eddie Nketiah has put it in the back of the net, in it, people. Simple as that. So that made it 1-1. Obviously, that's actually United's goal. We can focus on that, people. Saka's, where is Saka's now? Obviously, Saka, that's the last one. Saka's goal was just a madness, really and truly. You know, again, well, you know, I think him and Tomiyasu actually played a 1-2. Luke Shaw's invited him on it. They're having a good battle, in my opinion. I think Shaw did well. And Saka just looks, Saka starting, I'm not going to say Saka starting to believe he's wavy, but he's now, for me, he's now realizing in a nice way, I'm the man in it. It's not just, yo, I've come from the academy. I'm playing with players that are been in the industry for time, and I used to play FIFA. He's now knowing I'm the guy, and he's getting that aura about him. And you had that in the second half, I would say. In fact, the whole game when Saka woke up, he's starting to realize I'm the guy. I want to share responsibility. I'm the difference maker. And this is extended to everyone. Big up the other Haylender via Cobham and Eddie Nketiah as well. And everybody. It's a team sport, especially when a game's as crazy as that, where we're losing, we then take the lead, we get put to a draw. It's a mentality thing. If one man's mentality in this team is not up to par, we don't win. We do not win. And man to a man, it was well. But obviously, Saka is a wonderful strike, isn't it? It's Luke Shaw's invited him inside. He's laying it in it. De Gea's positioning ain't the best. He's laying it in it. And he's done Rashford's celebration. So as Eddie, we've shown, man, the days of Lingard are over. Don't be doing that at the Emirates, innit? Do your little thing at Old Trafford. We don't travel well there. It's not safe out here, man. Behave yourself. It's a bit like Darwin Núñez, you know. We're just doing up everyone, man. United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham times 2. It's long, man. It's no shame, man. It's no shame. It's no shame. At least I give it to Ten Hag. He's got heart, man. And Ten Hag, I really appreciate how he didn't look for excuses, man. His team lost. You have to control the variables that you can control. And I think while it was favourable for Arsenal, obviously today, it could have went another way, you know. Maybe the lack of being as clinical as we could have, maybe conceding those cheap goals could have made something. But big fan of our mentality. Saka's done a madness in it. It's as simple as that. When Saka scored, and we've made it 2-1. We've let ourselves down, I feel, on reflection, people, because if you look at the build up to Man United's second goal, I know there's 2 balls on the field, but we've tried to play the ball forward, I believe, if I can remember correctly. Partey's tried to find Martinelli. Wan-Bissaka stepped out in front. It's fallen to Anthony. Anthony has played it to Bruno. Bruno's found Weghorst. They've played a 1-2 people. And then long story short, I think Shaw's come into it as well. And then long story short, they've eventually won a corner. So if we air all of these players involved now, the corner now, if we advance it a bit, we could have done a lot better. You know, for Ramsdale, anytime you come out, again, for me, the build up to the corner didn't need to happen. Again, as I said, it's like we've scored, not taking our foot off the gas, but we've become a bit complacent. There were periods in the game where the midfield for both teams probably a bit too open. Great for the neutrals, not so much for me as an Arsenal fan. And I'm sure a Man United fan will probably feel the same way. And so me, it's more the build up and what led to the corner, as well as obviously the corner. By then, it's an unneeded one. Prevention is better than cure. Ramsdale's come out and he's normally solid from there, but he's come out, he's flapped at it. Lisandro Martinez has reacted first. I think Odegaard's the closest man. Odegaard probably would have taken his head off had he have tried to kick him or get a pen. It's bravery, you know. What my man's a soldier, in it. Lisandro Martinez. Shout out to Gabriel. He tried a thing on the line, but by then it's already in. Not necessarily focusing on the build up to the corner or what's led to the corner, just in the terms of game management. We've turned the game around and made it 2-1. We shouldn't be both teams, because when Rashford scored, we equalized very quickly. For 2 teams that want to aspire to get back to where they needed to be, can't really afford to do that. So made a bit of a mess of that, but it is what it is. As I said, the mentality, reacting, these are the things that make the difference, really and truly, people. And you know what led to our third goal and the final goal was absolutely amazing, people, really, for me. As I said, you know what, one thing I liked with Saka's goals, there's about six passes, man. I think Xhaka's actually won it back from Eriksen, found Zinchenko. Saka has played a 1-2 with Tomiyasu. It's about 6 passes and they bagged it. Our lead didn't last long, as I said, people. Partey's pass has been cut out by Wan-Bissaka. Bruno and Weghorst have played a 1-2 in the middle of the park. It's eventually gone out to Shaw. Played a 1-2 with Bruno and they've earned the corner. So the passage of play, people, and then obviously the corner's gone in. For the goal, I loved it because we had United on the ropes. The fans were, the players were feeding off the energy and of the fans, and the fans were feeding off the players' energy. As I said, man to a man, my defenders are out here trying to do a madness, really and truly, and we're smelling blood. And I really like the atmosphere on top of whatever Arsenal's just become right now. It's all come from a throw-in initially off the right-hand side. It's away from Man United. It's a goal we've probably become accustomed to scoring, people. Let's just put Saka's name in there for the sake of it as well. It looks a bit odd. It's all come from a throw-in off the right. I think there's 11 key passes from this throw-in. Saka, Saliba, Partey, Xhaka, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Eddie have done well, people. So not to go through everybody and the whole passage of play, but fundamentally, again, it's just been recycled across the field, people. If I remember correctly, Xhaka has played a pass, and assuming this is McTominay's missed a vital interception. It's not, he just missed it. It's not that he weren't switched on and stuff, but he's kind of, in fact, he's probably like here. He's kind of missed it and it's trickled over. Then it's gone to Trossard. Trossard's done well, really. People are drawn to the ball. Zinchenko's made a lovely run off it, as you could see, people. Then if we obviously pretend this is in real time and everybody's dropping deeper, probably say Martinez is there. I can't lie, United's shape was a bit disorganized at several occasions. Even when we scored, it's come from a corner. Wan-Bissaka's on the left. I felt sorry for Varane. Varane's missed a header as well. They were very disjointed. But yeah, people, Trossard has come on. He's found Zinchenko. Zinchenko's whipped it low. Obviously, Odegaard's made a run at this moment and he's kind of sliced at it. I think he technically gets an assist. Technically, again, not to scale. He's technically got an assist. Eddie Nketiah is onside, or you can argue with VAR and he's put it in the back of the net, people. So it was lovely to see that. That was a training ground goal for us, essentially, people. So I'm fully here for it. Fully here for it. Fully here for it. And in terms of United's shape, where is it? I mean, this is why United probably need a couple more technical midfielders, because typically, De Gea is just booting it, trying to boot it into the channels. And sometimes Weghorst is dropping very deep. He's just booting it. Whenever he plays Wan-Bissaka, Martinelli's putting him in trouble. It's going out for throws. It's going into the channels. They did play at times. Eriksen would go searching for the ball. Weghorst would drop. Sometimes you'd have, Rashford would just stay out there. Anthony's in his own world at times, and he does. Yeah, cool. He's got a couple nutmegs. Bruno would drop deep, but sometimes he's in other worlds. McTominay, pardon me, is just there for no reason. Lisandro Martinez is getting on the ball. There's nothing really. Varane the same. In fact, Varane's having to overcompensate a number of times and actually carry the ball out of defense, if I'm completely honest with you. But typically, Eriksen's the only one dropping deep, removing an Arsenal man for a sec and receiving it. And that kind of played into our hands, people, because then obviously we're starting to press with intensity, people, and kind of close the gaps, really, and not let them out the half. Obviously, you've got Zinchenko kind of doing the narrow centre mid thing and going all here and everywhere, people, and we'll probably get up and high on. I did like the way in the last two big games, you know, Spurs are good on the counter attack. United are more than a counter attacking team, but they have the capacity to dominate you in that regard. So it's nice to see these things didn't play a part in us losing. Player of the match, Saka had 70 touches, 13 touches in the up box most this season, completed 37 of his 47 passes, created 4 chances, had 5 shots, 2 on target, got his 7th Premier League goal of the season. He's the 3rd player to score in successive Premier League appearances versus United, and I think he's joined Henry and Lombard in that sort of illustrious category of bagging for Arsenal against them. Arsenal players to score in 3 successive Premier League matches against United. Lombard done it from 1998 to 2000. People, Henry did it from 2000 to 01. Bukayo Saka did it from 2022 to 2023. In that regards, Eddie Nketiah is the first player to score 2 goals in a Premier League game against Man United since Alexis Sanchez in October 2015. And them things there, people. If we look at some other things, people, at the halfway stage, Arsenal already have more points than 10 teams managed in the whole of 2021-22. Saka has now scored as many Premier League goals for Arsenal as Nicholas Bentner. Arsenal are 5 points ahead of City with a game in hand, 11 points ahead of both Newcastle and Man United with a game in hand, 17 points ahead of Spurs with a game in hand, 21 points ahead of Liverpool, 21 points ahead of Chelsea with a game in hand. Hopefully Champions League football returns. Arsenal had 63 touches in Manchester United's box in this match. No side have had as many in a single Premier League game. So United were a bit mad. And you look at our touches, we're all over the place, people, in a good way. 704 touches in general. And look at it, people. The vast majority is in there off. Wavy settings from a wavy team. Eddie Nketiah, apologies, has 7 goals in his last 7 starts for Arsenal in all comps. Arsenal had 24 shots to Man United 6, and I think we had 11 in the first half, 11 shots, 2 on target. It was either 11 or 15 if I can remember correctly, and they had like 2 shots, 2 on target, so they were pretty toothless. Eddie Nketiah is the second Arsenal player to score a 90th minute winner against Man United in the Premier League after Thierry Henry did it in 07, people. And we also had to come from behind in that game. Players to score, big up Harvey Downs. Players to score both home and away for Arsenal against United in a single season. Anelka, Lombard, Henry, Robin van Persie, Mesut Ozil, Bukayo Saka. Arsenal have won all 3 Premier League home games when they've gone behind this season. Fulham, West Ham and Man United. And like I was saying, in terms of resilience, I'd say Fulham, West Ham, I'd say Aston Villa a bit different as well, and Man United. The first time they won 3 successive matches since December 06, people, to February of 07, which was against Man United, Wigan and Blackburn. Eddie Nketiah doing the manager proud and doing the Arsenal players and himself proud. Eddie Nketiah has 9 goals in his last 12 starts, people. So yeah, man, and 6 starts in his last 7. And I think in all comps, he's our joint highest goal scorer, people. You know. So yeah, Bruno and Rashford continue decent records. Arsenal have kept just 2 clean sheets in their last 14 Premier League games at the Emirates. So as I was saying, there's evident areas of improvement, people. And we gave the ball away nonchalantly. And I agree that Ramsdale shouldn't have been beaten there from that range, but he's better than that. He can do better than that, people. So, yeah, it's lovely to see these statistics. Odegaard has 10 goal involvements in his last 10 in the league. Saka has scored more Premier League goals in 23 and assisted more, 22 for Arsenal, than any other player in the current squad. And he cost us not a damn thing. Saka has 13 goal involvements in his last 15 games, 6 goals and 7 assists. So I think I'm scrolling back a bit much now because it's now 7, as we know. Looking at Arsenal versus United in detail, Arsenal had 63 touches in United's box. That's the highest total in any Premier League game this season. United only had 12 shots. United only had 12 in Arsenal's box. So yeah, man, we're doing what we need to do. As you can see, people, Saka is the youngest player in the competition's history to score in 3 consecutive Premier League games against Man United. Little Chili's on fire. Real 1v1 demons. Arsenal have not lost any of their last 12 home games, people. We've beaten United, beaten Leeds, beaten Everton, beaten Leicester, beaten Fulham, beaten Villa, beaten Spurs, beaten Liverpool, beaten Forest, beaten West Ham. Yeah, little draw thing against Newcastle and beaten Man United. You know, you can't come around the Emirates. It's not safe in N5, man. It's not safe. Eddie Nketiah's game by numbers, 90% pass. Forget the goals. Well, can't forget the goals. They've made the difference. But sometimes I do think strikers is a harsh thing. I think sometimes when strikers don't score people, they don't get the credit. And I also think sometimes goals can mask games. So it's lovely to see, you know, it's all about the performance. I think Eddie Nketiah, since he's got to start, has been very good. He's been very good against a back three in Spurs, regardless of their form. Gave a great account of himself against Varane and Lisandro Martinez, who I don't think them centre-halves are at fault, but he gave a good battle against quality centre-backs. I think he's working the channels well, linking up play, winning little fouls, doing what he needs to do. Obviously, he was told a number of times by the referee, stop encroaching the area from goal kicks from De Gea when De Gea is taking them. Maybe that's something Mikel Arteta has, you know, asked him to do before the game. 90% passing accuracy, 9 touches in the up box, 2 goals, 36 touches, 6 shots, 5 duels won, 3 shots on target, and 2 goals. So yeah, he did what he needed to do. Lovely reward for the young man. Only 5 sides have reached 50+ points at halfway stage of the Premier League season, people. You know, Liverpool did finish second in 18-19, but you've got City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Liverpool, and then Arsenal. Will Arteta lift the trophy after 38 games? What trophy? You know, we're still in the FA Cup, still in the Europa League. You know, the goal in August was Champions League. I don't check the league table, but we just need to keep working hard, folks, as you lot know. So yeah, we've not lost in 12. Great home record. Saka had the most final third passes, most touches in the up box, 27 and 13 respectively. Most duels won with 6, most chances created with 4, most fouls won with 4. Had 5 shots, 5 crosses, 2 shots on target, and a goal. And he's unlucky that that effort that deflected, it clipped the post, so he would have had another super strike. Granit Xhaka had a great game when he woke up. He's got 5 Premier League assists. He had an 89% pass accuracy, 57 touches, 5 touches in the up box, 4 chances created, 1 possession 4 times, 3 passes into the box, 3 duels won, 3 tackles, 2 crosses, and 1 assist, and a great team performance. Zinchenko, man of the match, arguably. You know, him, Eddie, I think Gabriel and Saliba also had clean games. He had an 80% pass accuracy, 23 final third passes, 85 touches, 7 passes into the box, 1 possession 5 times, won 4 of his duels, created 3 crosses, 2 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 chance created, and a big hug from the gaffer. Players to score 7+ goals and provide 7+ assists in Europe's top 5 divisions this season. Messi, Neymar, KK of Napoli, and Bukayo Saka, people. Star boys only. Eddie Nketiah completed 17 of his 19 passes, a better completion rate than any other starter, and competed in more duels with United defenders than any other Arsenal player. I mean, he's a striker, that's going to come with it, but it's lovely to hear. This was before the game, people, literally before the game, but you can see Zinchenko's influence. You know, for touches for Arsenal, he ranked first. For passes, he was third. For passes in the up half completed, he's first. For passes in the final third, he's first. You know, passing accuracy is 89.5%, he's third. So that just tells you, you know, he's a centre mid playing fullback. We love it. Big up Kieran Tierney, but it's a Zinchenko thing, man. 84.2 touches, 58.9 passes completed, 34.3 passes in the up box, 19.0 in final third passes completed, pass accuracy of 89.5, people. So wavy. You're seeing why Arteta is signing players, people. This is for another video I'll be doing. When you look at our attacking sequences, people, you know, it's mad. You look, Saka has 12, Odegaard's got 12, Martinelli's got 12 in the minutes played, Zinchenko's got 11, Xhaka's got 8. You'd expect to see them because that's how we win the game. Eddie had 6, Xhaka had 8, Partey and Saliba had 6, Tomiyasu off the bench had 5, that's good. Gabriel had 4, people, and obviously number of involvements in open play or shot ending sequences. So again, I want to see that, but it shows you why Zinchenko plays, why Martinelli is effective even when he's not as effective on the eye, what Odegaard and Saka bring to the table. You know, for me, Odegaard, Zinchenko, Xhaka in particular, you know, Tomiyasu off the bench showing why it's a squad game. William, Saliba and Gabriel had a great game defensively. So it's nice to see these statistics there, people. Please let me know your thoughts. Turn on your notifications. Smash the like button, people. Make sure you're aware of any live streams and other content I do. But that's all I've got to say in the aftermath of the United game. Commiserations to Man United. Obviously, we've got a rivalry, but there's more class, I feel, around the Man United-Arsenal rivalry for all the banter. You know, it's not quite the Spurs thing and things like that. But yeah, one love to you lot. I'm off to make more vids for you lot. Stay blessed, stay safe. I'm out.
There's always that active red flag defenders. I think it's like